What could possibly drive a mother and daughter to commit the most heinous act against their own family? Today, we introduce an unthinkable story that unfolded in Springfield, Missouri in 2012. It's a tale known as the Staudte Family Murders, or the Antifreeze Murders. The key players in this chilling story are Diane Staudte, her daughter Rachel, and their victims who, shockingly, were members of their own family. Stay with us as we delve into the chilling sequence of events that led to this horrifying crime. Mark Staudte, the unsuspecting husband and father, was the first to fall. A pillar of the Staudte household, Mark was a devoted and hard-working man, dedicated to providing for his family. As the head of the family, his passing was a shock to those who knew him. His death was sudden, unexpected, leaving a void in the lives of those who loved him. Initially, it was believed to be a tragic case of natural causes, perhaps a stroke or heart attack, but as we delve deeper, we find that the truth was far from natural. Let's talk about antifreeze. Commonly used in vehicles to regulate engine temperatures, it's an everyday item found in many households. But in the wrong hands, it can be a deadly weapon. It's sweet to the taste, easily mixed into food and drinks, and its effects, at least initially, can mimic those of common illnesses. Nausea, headaches, breathing difficulties, all symptoms that would not necessarily raise alarm bells. It's a silent killer, slowly shutting down the body's organs, causing an agonizing death. Now imagine this substance being used with malicious intent. Imagine it being introduced into Mark Staudte's system, little by little, meal after meal. Unbeknownst to him, he was being poisoned in his own home by the very people he loved and trusted. With every passing day, his health deteriorated, the poison slowly taking its toll. All the while, the cause remained a mystery, attributed to the natural decline of a man's health. By the time Mark's life came to an end, the damage was done. His body, ravaged by the poison, gave out. His death was mourned as a tragic loss, the cause chalked up to natural causes. But as we will soon discover, there was nothing natural about Mark's demise. But Mark's tragic demise was only the beginning. Sean Staudte, a vulnerable young man with autism, was the next target. His world, one that was already uniquely challenging due to his condition, soon became a nightmare he couldn't wake up from. Sean was a beloved member of the Staudte family, a young man whose life was navigating through the complexities of autism. He was a beacon of resilience, an example of courage in a world that often didn't understand him. But within the confines of his own home, a sinister plot was unfolding, one that would abruptly end his journey. The poison that had claimed his father's life was administered to Sean. It was a silent, deadly weapon, camouflaged in the mundane routine of a family meal. As the toxic substance coursed through his veins, Sean's health deteriorated rapidly. His seizures, a symptom of his autism, became more frequent and severe. The family watched, the world watched, as Sean was gripped by an inexplicable illness. His demise was swift, his suffering profound. The medical personnel attributed his death to an unfortunate complication of his seizures. Sean's life was abruptly extinguished, his light snuffed out by a cause that was, at the time, undetermined. But, as we would later discover, Sean's death was no mere accident, no unfortunate complication. It was a calculated act, a chilling manifestation of a murder plot that was slowly, methodically claiming the lives of the Staudte family. The family was falling one by one, and the cause was far from natural. Sarah Staudte, the surviving daughter, bore the brunt of the deadly plot but lived to tell the tale. The tale is one of a failed attempt, a tale that would turn the tide in this chilling narrative. Sarah was not spared from the venomous intent of her mother and sister. She too was poisoned with the same fatal concoction that had claimed the lives of her father and brother. But fate had a different plan for Sarah. Despite the lethal dose of antifreeze coursing through her veins, Sarah survived, showing an incredible will to live. However, the poison did not leave her unscathed. It wreaked havoc on her body, causing severe physical and neurological damage. Sarah was left with a lifelong scar, a constant reminder of the treachery inflicted upon her by her own family. The poison attacked her organs, leaving them severely damaged. It also attacked her brain, causing neurological deterioration. Sarah was left in a condition where she now requires assistance in her daily life. Everyday tasks that we often take for granted became monumental challenges for Sarah. But Sarah's survival story was not just about the physical and neurological damage she suffered. It was also about resilience, courage, and the human spirit's tenacity in the face of unimaginable horror. Sarah's survival was a beacon of hope in the midst of a dark and tragic narrative. In the grand scheme of things, Sarah's survival was more than just a testament to her strength. It was a crucial piece of the puzzle that would eventually lead to the unraveling of the sinister plot. Her survival would serve as a turning point in the investigation, bringing her mother and sister's heinous acts to light. Sarah's survival was a turning point in this tragic narrative. An anonymous tip brought the dark secrets of the Staudte household to light. This unexpected revelation would be the turning point in a series of tragic events that had unfolded in the quiet town of Springfield, Missouri. An unknown informer had alerted the authorities, leading them to question the string of misfortunes that had befallen the Staudte family. The police, now suspicious, embarked on an investigation that would soon reveal a chilling plot. They discovered that Diane and her favored daughter Rachel had been purchasing antifreeze online. This seemingly innocuous purchase was in fact a key component of their sinister plan. As the evidence stacked up, the authorities moved in, apprehending Diane and Rachel Staudte. The mother-daughter duo were cornered, their dark secret out in the open. Faced with the mounting evidence, they did the unexpected, they confessed. Diane, the matriarch, admitted to orchestrating the murders of her husband Mark and their autistic son, Sean. Rachel, her accomplice, confessed to her role in the crimes. The confessions were shocking, revealing a twisted perception of their family members as burdens, driving them to commit the unthinkable. The trials that followed were nothing short of sensational. The courtrooms were packed, the public appalled by the gruesome details that emerged. Diane was sentenced to life in prison without parole, while Rachel pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and received a life sentence with the possibility of parole. Their confessions and subsequent sentencing brought an end to a horrifying chapter in the history of Springfield, Missouri. The dark secrets of the Staudte household had been exposed, the culprits brought to justice. But the story doesn't end there. Justice was served, but the scars left by these heinous acts remain. The chilling tale of the Staudte family murders serves as a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity and the devastating impact of family dysfunction. The Staudte family murders shocked the public and left a trail of devastation. As the dust settled, the consequences of this monstrous act became painfully clear. Diane Staudte, the orchestrator of these heinous crimes, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, a chilling end to a story steeped in heartbreak and betrayal. Her daughter Rachel, the accomplice in this macabre family tragedy, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and received a life sentence with the possibility of parole. The youngest of the Staudte children, Brianna, was placed in foster care, a stark shift from the life she once knew. And Sarah, the survivor of this unimaginable ordeal, was left with severe organ and neurological damage from the poisoning, her life forever altered, requiring assistance in her daily living. The motivations behind these crimes, driven by financial issues and the perception of the victims as burdens, left a lasting impact on the community. It forced us to confront the ugly truth that sometimes the most dangerous threats can lurk within our own homes, masked by the facade of familial love. The Staudte family murders served as a grim reminder of the dark corners of human nature, where love can be twisted into something cruel and selfish. And in the face of such horror, we are left with the chilling echoes of a tragedy that shook a family, a community, and indeed the world. We are left to ponder the question, how can such an unthinkable crime occur within a family, under the guise of love and care?